And also, on the 14th, on the middle of the month, Mercury goes retrograde. Mercury is the planet of communication, and commerce. So communication and commerce are going to start collapsing. And it's going to start with the advancement of Pluto, which is breakdown. Pluto is breakdown everything. Imagine a worldwide glitch. The whole world is going to start glitching. It's going to be like a deep fake attack. Not only a huge hack where it's going to be massive editing of social media platforms where we are going to see videos edited and even comments, whatever, everything is going to be edited. It's going to be like a Mandela effect worldwide. And Pluto is also crisis. So with Mercury going retrograde, all commerce is going to break down. In October, there is already a prediction that is going around on the internet of some known guy, is a researcher of the occult. His name is Jordan Maxwell. But what he said is that in October is going to happen some kind of catastrophe. He said that he doesn't know what, nuclear war, whatever, he doesn't know. And he said because the entire solar system is going into the constellation of Ophiuchus. So right now, I can tell you that I don't know why he said that. I've been explaining that the constellation of Ophiuchus is the big protagonist in the conjunction because at the end of the year there is the great eclipse there and all the planets just cross Ophiuchus of the conjunction, but that's not how astrology works. In October, the entire solar system, as he explained, is not going into the constellation of Ophiuchus, not even close. In the constellation of Ophiuchus, we enter at the end of November, the last day, and in December, where it's going to be the great eclipse on the constellation of Ophiuchus. So, and saying that some event is going to happen, see, just whatever, anything will happen every day. Prediction doesn't work like that. Actual prediction works when you actually name a specific event on a specific time, a moment, not during a whole month. Like have been documented since 2019. Specific events on specific periods, not everything all the time. So maybe he just throw something so in case something happen, well, I say something was going to happen. That's not how prediction works. Actually, when some prediction start spreading, going viral, what I actually do is check if that person had others' prediction fulfilled with precision. Because if that person doesn't have good predictions capabilities, obviously, the new prediction is not going to be very relatable. So what I do is actually document my predictions in how they get fulfilled. So you understand how this works. It's a mechanism. Prediction is a language of cycles through time, which repeats and combines in different ways. It's not so simple to say something is going to happen. But something is going to happen. What and when? We're going to see now in detail. But this Jordan Maxwell mentioned something that has to do with October, which is he talked about the Templars and the Jesuits, which is this some sort of occult army of death. And the Templar cross actually forms an octagon, which has the same root as October, which means 8, because it's the original 8th month. And this octagon is what is called by some researchers as is like the top of the Illuminati, something like that, right? So maybe without he really understanding the astrology cycle that we are entering, because it has nothing to do with Ophiuchus, and he didn't also mention the Great Conjunction, which is the real cause of all 2020, as I was been documenting since 2019, a year ago. In this interview, they also mentioned this possibility of a terrorist group infiltrating through the open borders or whatever, planting explosives. Well, that would be the actual mainstream narrative. What is most likely is that the very young government, during the lockdown, planted explosives on several buildings, and now they're going to detonate them, like in Beirut. In fact, during the lockdown at the beginning, people on the internet that were recording what was happening on the street managed to actually capture the pictures of people from the government with a mysterious badge, a color, right, an identification badge, which with the name Operation Gotham, which is a reference to the city of Batman, and this add to the symbology that in United States they are building up, that started with Trump mimicking the speech from Batman's villain, then wearing a mask like the villain. In this movie, everything end up collapsing, and at the end, that will be the end of the year, it will be a nuclear detonation, but at the end of the movie, that will be the end of the year when we enter Ophiuchus. And the main date for some sort of nuclear event, if there is something here, which I don't think is going to be in this month, but in the last, in October is going to be more like several terrorist attacks, a lot of explosions. And they're going to be because in the middle of the month and the last 2 weeks of October, we have a massive opposition between planets going in the signs of Libra and Scorpio against Aries and Taurus. Libra is justice and business, Scorpio, crisis, death, and sex. So we're going to have those forces opposing Aries, which is identity, and Taurus, that is values. So we're going to have a great identity crisis and value crisis. In the last 2 weeks of the month, there are going to be a massive also leak of huge secrets of all the people within higher spheres of power, huge war between them, and to these military groups, which at the same time are going to be a relief for normal people that want to live, create communities without an oppressive regime. Because when all these leaks explode, people in power are going to start to accuse one another, and these military groups are going to start operate between each other. It's as if they're going to start sending armies after each other, and they're going to be so busy that people that want to create their own communities without the corrupt structure of power will have a chance, will start having a chance. There will be glimpses, and in 2021 that will be the main relief. It's everything that has been cooking up for some time, but one wave. It's going to be like a civil war, but you're going to start seeing like a huge world war, civil war, whatever. And you're going to start seeing that in all of this, we already see a little glimpse. It's going to be massive. A lot of people just in the middle of chaos, dressed like superheroes. It's going to be like those Marvel movies. You're going to see a lot of people just in the chaos, dressed as cartoons. Especially I uploaded a recent video about the cover of the Economist magazine. It's a predictive magazine known for having predicted some events because it's owned by some of the banker families. And in one of the last covers, which announced coming apocalyptic events, one of the pictures of the sequence is a comet. And as I indicated in the video, every picture is a month. I will explain it further in another video, but basically the comet corresponds to October. So we're going to have some sort of, it's not necessarily going to be an asteroid that will hit the Earth, but it's going to be like some sort of celestial event that would land some sort of frequency, energetic virus that will make people going insane. Massive possession, something like that. It's going to be like a space apocalypse. In October, we have the entering of the equinox and the fall, right? Another symbolism in the North Hemisphere. The fall, like the fall, buildings, towers, and the fall of Babylon. You see in the picture of the meteor in the Economist, which correspond to October, the meteor is actually a biblical image that is when an angel throws a rock from heaven to earth and poison waters, but it is a representation of the fall of Babylon. Babylon will be all these kinds of institutions like the Vatican, the UN, America itself, all these kinds of centralized governments are Babylon. They actually, in their symbology, always worship the stars that will represent fallen angels and so on. It will be the collapse of the system, which of course Pluto is crisis, so it will come with crisis, but for everyone that is expecting to being able to interact with other human beings without the constant intermission of these totalitarian regimes and unjust structure of power, this is when that gets open. And I keep repeating, a lot of people start to projecting all this catastrophe to next years. But I keep repeating, everything is going to happen this year because the Great Conjunction completes what started in 2001, which was the really announcement of some sort of world government, right? The New World Order, which means many things. And this completes it. So when 9/11 happened, for the government agencies, they say that every day after 9/11, it was the day after 9/11, every day. Like that, stuck in that time, that well. So for them to play the same card all over again, they're gonna have to make as much damage as possible. So every year after 2020 is still 2020. That will be the idea. It doesn't mean that it's going to have the impact because people already know the truth, already know things are fake. So I think that it's going to be like it's going to dissolve, it's going to appear, but at the same time, like it's fake. We know it's all freaking fake.